Hey guys, this is Billy Davidson with Davidson Pressure Washing Painting coming out of Hammond, Louisiana. Tonight, I want to talk to you about parking lot striping. I have three machines here with me. One is this Truline striper. It's a real narrow machine. It has an onboard gasoline air compressor. It acts kind of more like a conventional, although it is airless, so to speak. You have a compressed tank. The air compressor compresses the tank, which is a reservoir for the paint, and it just sort of kind of pushes the paint out the bottom. That machine's very rarely used. It does have its niche market, like parking garages or striping in between cars. So it's very rarely used, but I have it around just in case. This is also a Titan, and this is a Titan. I know they look horrible, but they actually run in tip-top shape, and that's what I'm doing tonight, is doing some maintenance on both of them. This one here is only about 2 years old. So it's had its share of use. Obviously, it's a Titan 2850, I believe. And this one's a Titan 2800. So they're very similar. I think the only difference is the wheel size, and maybe this pump here puts out just a bit more volume than this one. It's so insignificant, it really don't matter. These machines are phenomenal little machines. They put out about a gallon a minute. Sometimes you can rev them up really good, and maybe a gallon and a half a minute. You never really need that if you're doing parking lot striping. Sometimes we'll do commercial building painting, exterior. These machines are phenomenal for that. They'll spray latex and everything else, all types of paint. You don't necessarily have to use them for parking lot striping. But so in this on this machine here, this tip guard, I'm doing maintenance on this gun here. So there's a filter in here where my thumb is. I'm not going to get into that tonight because that was recently cleaned out. But as you can see, this tip guard is really a mess. Yes, I have new ones. I have new tip guards. I have new tips, spray tips. Also have some new inserts in it. But every now and then I'll take an old one and clean it up really good and have it on standby. I'll put a new one on here tonight. But this one here I'm going to clean up, change the little insert inside of it, wrap it up in a Ziploc bag and tape it closed. That way I'll have it on the truck in case one ever fails. And I'll show you how this is done. I have loosened this up with my wrench there because it had a lot of paint on it, and I knew I'd be doing this with one hand. But basically, this just unscrews gently. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. But once it comes off, it's basically a swivel here on the end, and it comes off of the gun. I'll go ahead and set that down, show you the end of the gun. So that's where your tip guard screws into it. And of course, this is your trigger mechanism here. But what I'm going to do, set this right here. I'm going to bring this inside. As you can see, it has a tip in it. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to pull the inside out of here and show y'all a little bit about it. And we're going to try to get this thing looking practically new again. This paint on here is only from a couple weeks of usage. Usually I like to wipe them off with a thinner rag or some mineral spirits or something, try to clean them up after every use. But if you're spraying a lot of paint as we do, kind of coats on there and builds up, and this is rock solid. I mean, you might could chisel some of this off. There's a little piece trying to come off there, but for the most part, you'd beat this thing to death before you get all that paint off. But I got a little bit easier way. I'm going to show y'all how to do this, and so I'll return back once I get everything set up inside. So I'm going to be kind of splicing a few clips together here to kind of show you how to get one of these cleaned up. And like I said, even if you are replacing it with a new one, it'd be nice to go ahead and clean this one up and have it in a Ziploc bag, in your toolbox just in case you need it. So I'll be back shortly showing y'all some other videos. All right, guys, I'm back. I've go ahead and removed the tip out of here, and as you can see, it's pretty bad off. This tip probably will be replaced at some point. It has probably a couple hundred gallons of paint sprayed through it. I believe that's like a 317. The tips they don't wear out as often as the inserts do inside the tip guard. And so I went ahead and removed that with this dental pick. And I'll basically show you. It's wide open now, and this is what comes out of it. You have a little orifice thing. I'm not quite sure what this is called. This is the part that you really want to change after. You know, if you spray in latex, you want to change this probably about every 100 gallons. And it also comes with this little rubber seal or O-ring. This, I'll keep this just in case, but I'll tell you what happens if you don't change that very often. A lot of guys have just changed the tip, and you know your tip gets eroded. Now, when you're using a lot of latex, about every 100 gallons, you want to change this. And if you use an all-base paint, about every 250 gallons. Reason being, latex has a lot of clay particles and stuff like that, so it kind of erodes out this orifice. If you don't change that out, what'll happen, you will use an enormous amount of paint. I mean, it will just load the lines up. It will take forever to dry. You'll get hot tire pickup. You know, it's just a mess. And plus the cost of just blowing all kind of paint everywhere. So you change that little insert out, and basically when you get a new one, you just pop it right in place. It's no problem. The little metal piece goes in first and a little rubber piece behind it. And it only goes in one way, so you can't mess that up. Once you get that new piece in, you screw this back on the gun like I was showing you earlier, and then insert your tip and you're good to go. So when you buy a new tip, most cases, every case this comes with this little insert. So make sure you're getting that with your new tip if you know you're buying a new parking lot striping tip. Also, you can get a new tip guard while you're there, because one time we run into a wheel stop or something and busted one of my tip guards right in the middle of a job, and if I didn't have another one in a truck, you know, I mean, you shut down. So keep some of these old parts around. So I'm gonna show you how to clean this one up. So like I said, these need to be changed about every 250 gallons if you're using all-base paint. If you're using latex, about 100 gallons of usage. You could stretch it out a little bit more than that, but you know, if you end up in a bind or something. But so I'm gonna show you how I clean my tip guards. I'm gonna turn this down. I got some boiling water here. I'm gonna boil this for I guess about 10 minutes or so, and then maybe pull it out and check it. And, you know, it's gonna be really hot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this in there, and then I'm gonna wait about 10 or 15 minutes, see how it's looking. A lot of times that heat will just get rid of all this caked on paint, no problem. So let's drop that in there. We'll go ahead and throw the tip in there for good measure. We're gonna let that rock and roll for a little bit, and I'll be back and show you the end result. I'm back. I have cleaned the tip and the tip guard up. Could have got it a little bit better, but I'm gonna rush to get out of here. So I'll let this boil for about 15 minutes, and pretty much a lot of the old paint came off of it. You might have to take your pocket knife or a butter knife or something and scrape it, and you know, just kind of get some of the caked on paint. And there's no big issue if you got to reball it. You know, if you take off a couple, 2 or 3 layers, and you start running back into that rock hard paint, just depending on how many layers of paint you got on there, you can throw it back into boiling water for another 5 minutes and redo it. Keep doing it many times you need to. A lot of times, just 1, 2 times, it'll knock it off. And so I got the tip guard here as well. Made a world of difference on it. Like I said, it's not perfect. I could reball it and get the rest of this stuff off of it, but I got to get out of here shortly. We're about to head on to work. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough, man. Trust me, this thing will be on the machine 10-15 minutes, and it'll be back, you know, like this. I got my insert in, put my new insert in it, and like I said, it goes in only in one way. It's 2 pieces, a little metal piece. One tip of that metal piece is kind of flared out. That goes forward, and then this little back seal snaps in place, and you know, makes it real nice and secure. After that, you just screw this back onto your gun, and insert your tip into the tip guard there. Make sure it's nice and tight, and you're ready to go. So yeah, so this really works. Balling it, like I said, even on this, you might have to take a pocket knife or something to kind of knock it off, but you know, for the most part, heating it up in some boiling water really makes a difference. And just to recap with y'all, you know, we like to clean these off because, like before, you seen all that caked on paint. It will definitely mess up your spray pattern. as your paint's coming out of here, you know, you want it to fan out perfectly and have razor sharp edges. If all of this is clogged up with paint like it was before, you know, man, it's your edges not gonna look all that good. And I see a lot of that too. Kind of like when you're in a parking lot striping business, you kind of ride around and see other people's work. And man, I can look at a line. I've been doing this for so long. I can look at a line and just the color of the line, I can tell what kind of paint it is, where they got it, what brand it is, latex, oil base. And also looking at the line, you can tell if the guy's been a new striper or he's been in the business a while, or even if his tip guard is too dirty, or if he, just looking at it, you can tell if he needs to change his orifice. Look, over the years, you kind of learn that, man. So just, recap, keep those tip guards kind of cleaned up and change those little O-rings that's in the back here. I thought I had it over there, but I done tossed that old one away. But change that, put a new one in when you get a new tip. But every, 100 gallons if you're spraying latex, a couple 100 gallons, 250 gallons if you're spraying all base. Sometimes I'll change them out sooner than that. I can hear when that when this little orifice goes bad. The paint just got a different sound as it's coming out. Over the years you kind of learn some of the sounds and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, I hope this helps. And if y'all need to reach out for me, any assistance I can help you out with, you got any questions as far as power washing or parking lot striping, give me a call. My number is 985-345-0778. Love hearing from y'all guys out there. And if this video's helped any, give me a like and a subscribe. And I'll be in touch with y'all soon. But I'm about to get out of here. We got some power washing to go do, and I got the guys waiting on me outside actually right now. So I'm gonna go get up with them, and we're gonna get out of here, and I'll see y'all later.